Hey guys, it's Kimberly with Paid for Your Say, and I'm going to share with you an incredible story of how I had a $50 Zoom call and I turned it into $28,000 of passive income. In this case, this was a $50 Zoom call for a focus group. You fill out a survey, and if you look like you're a match, the recruiter will reach out to you and let you know you qualified. So that's what happened to me. I qualified for the Zoom call, and I knew there would be another focus group if I qualified after that Zoom call. It was like any other Zoom call. So I got on that call on a Thursday night. It was about 15 minutes and it was on a personal feminine product. So at the end of the call, I was told that actually they were going to be choosing 5 women from across the country to participate in a national commercial. I didn't really get that excited about it because I knew they had hundreds of people that they were doing this Zoom call with. So we finished the call, and then that Friday night, the very next day, around 8 o'clock, I received a call from the recruiter that told me I had qualified for the commercial. And when I tell you I could not believe it, I was so excited. I think I actually squealed on the phone. So she gave me a little more detail about when it was going to be. That was a Friday night. I was picked up on Tuesday morning by a limousine. I was taken to the airport, flown out to Los Angeles, where I was picked up by a limousine. We had Bellinis. He drove me to a hotel in Beverly Hills. Once I got there, I met with the other 4 women, which was really nice and interesting. We got to know each other. Then we met with the director of the commercial. They kind of told us what the next 3 or 4 days was going to be like. And they also fed us lunch and gave us $300 in spending money just to kind of spend however we wanted. So the next day we went on set and we did wardrobe, we did makeup, we did nails, we got our storyboards. We each had something different to do, of course, in the commercial. So on the day that we went to set, we were actually there for 13 hours for a 45-second commercial, which was really interesting because I've never seen the ins and outs or the behind the scenes of creating a commercial. There were about 100 people that worked on this commercial. Once we finished, we went back to the hotel. We were treated to a really nice dinner. And once I returned to my hotel that night, I actually had somewhat of, I wouldn't say an epiphany, but just something that really touched me. I just thought about how the last couple of days had been and how I really was treated like royalty. It was something I'd never experienced before. And I think at that moment, I started thinking bigger and dreaming bigger and just realizing that there's much more out there for me to do and thinking about what I truly wanted to do with my life. Because although I had a nice corporate job, I had other aspirations. So from that day, it really changed my life. So that was February 2016. We finished the commercial. We all flew back to our respective states, and we all were waiting with bated breath to find out when this commercial was going to air. And actually, at that point, we had been told we would get residuals, but I had no idea really what that was going to look like. So the first airing was in late May. I actually didn't see it, but I had people from high school, people I hadn't heard from in 30 years, telling me they saw me on a commercial. My father saw the commercial. It seems like everybody saw the commercial first. And then when I finally saw it, I just was so excited. I was screaming and jumping up and down and just really proud of what I had done. So although it was a 13-hour shoot, I only was in the commercial probably for 15 seconds. I think there were 2 different scenes that I was in. So 13 hours for 15 seconds, 20 seconds in a commercial. So I started receiving my first set of residual checks in July. There were about 6 or 7 checks in the mailbox. It was about $6,000 or $7,000. I could not believe it. So I started calling some of the other women to make sure they had received their checks. And so between July and September, I made $28,000 in passive income. It was really a great experience. It kind of reminds me of what I tell people all the time, to always put your best foot forward. Even though it was just a $50 Zoom call that was going to result or could result in a focus group, I always put my best foot forward because you never know where it might lead. This was a little extreme, but it can happen. So I hope that this story inspires you to always put your best foot forward in anything that you do in life because you never know where it might lead. You have an opinion? Why not get paid for it?